Hello everybody, this is a short, unplanned video about my new invention, the Weevil Wind Tunnel. Yes, that's correct, Weevil Wind Tunnel. So, weevils, some of them, don't have hairs, they have scales, and the scales are colourful, but only when the weevils dry. I've got a couple of these weevils, they're called clown weevils. This is what one looks like when it's all dried and looking its best. But this is what they look like when they're not dried and not looking their best. And the transition from ugly to beautiful happens as you dry the weevil. And you have to dry the weevil with puffs of warm air, or at least room temperature air. And my normal operating procedure is to grab a wet weevil, clean it off, blow it dry under the microscope, and record it if I can. The reason I record it is watching these scales come back to life is really incredible. It's a very bizarre and unusual thing to watch. And I just can't get enough of it. Every time I do it, I'm delighted once again to see it. Well, I had promised a friend of mine I'd send him some of my footage, and I could not find it this morning. In fact, I looked for it over the weekend and I couldn't find it. So I don't have the old footage, and it was terrible anyway because I was holding the weevil in one hand, the blower in the other, and everything was moving all the time, so you could hardly tell what I was doing or what you were looking at. Very amateur. So this morning I had an invention. I kind of woke up with this idea, and that was to make a Weevil Wind Tunnel. A Weevil Wind Tunnel consists of a piece of foam core that you cut into 4 strips, but only halfway through. And then you fold it up on itself and tape it together into a square tube. Now, if you plan ahead like I did, you cut part of it out so that you've got this little gap in the middle. That's where your weevil goes. Goes on a pin on a piece of blue tack right there, and you put his head facing where the wind is coming from and on the pin, and you put the whole thing under the microscope. So the more astute amongst you are probably already thinking, this plan of his is never going to work because he doesn't have any wind. But I do. I have portable wind in the form of a blower machine that is made for pumping air through the water of an aquarium. How do I know that? Because somebody told me. They saw it and said, "Why have you got an aquarium pumper? You don't have an aquarium." I said, "No, but it'll come in handy." I paid $1 for it at the thrift shop, and it had a cable attached, so it works. And I haven't used it, haven't had cause to use it until today. But I thought, that's my win right there. So I connected 2 of the hoses that I had, just plastic hoses, to 2 of the holes. I tried it with 3 and 4 as well, but it was too windy with 4 and 3. The 2 was perfect and 1 wasn't windy enough. Then I run the wind through a plastic tube, 2 plastic tubes to 1 plastic tube, and into the end of the wind tunnel. That's all there is to it. That's the whole invention right there. And I thought, well, this isn't going to do anything, but it'll save me having to pump the pumper. This is the wind tunnel Mark 1, also good for cleaning cameras. Makes your hand go crampy after a while. So this is what I thought I'd try. I built it and set it up while I was having my coffee, so it took about 5 minutes. And grabbed a weevil, a wet weevil, an ugly wet weevil, stuck him on a pin, put him in the wind tunnel, and turned it on. And this is what I saw. And you'll see that almost immediately after I turn it on, the floor starts shaking, because that's me running to get my phone, because I was not expecting this to happen. But I think what happens is the wind forms some kind of laminar flow over the top of the weevil and the bottom, and all of a sudden the scales started coming on. 1, 2, and then 10, and then 5, and in patches, and it was just such an incredible sight. They were coming back on about 10 times the rate they normally do. And in just a few minutes of recording, basically they were all back on. The whole Weevil had lit up. So this is an actual usable invention. If you are a macro photographer who likes weevils and live near enough to a swamp to be able to find clown weevils, which really just rules everybody except me out, I guess. But I have one, so we're good. If you want to know how to make one, watch this video again, because I just told you everything I know. I am not sending blueprints to anybody. I didn't measure any of this. I have no idea how wide these strips are, so don't ask. Just go buy some foam core, some Gorilla Tape, a Leica microscope. It's got to be a Leica microscope, and make a wind tunnel, and you're good to go. That's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. This was serious. This is not a joke. It's not April Fools or anything. This is a serious invention. Wind tunnel's already been invented, hadn't it? Coming up next, photons. Lots of photons. See you soon. Take care.